So about 4 months ago, I did a video on the PlayStation Portal. It was supposed to be this awesome new streaming device that you could play handheld to play your PS5 games wherever you want. I knew I was going to get it, but I figured, you know what, let me just wait. That'll be an easy gift to tell somebody for Christmas. So I waited and I got it. Plus, I had the benefit of waiting to see if it was horribly broken before launch. And it wasn't. So I got it for Christmas, and here are my thoughts. So I've been kind of watching a lot of the discussion around this device, and the number one thing I saw was that if you're going to use this, they recommend plugging in your PS5 through Ethernet. Now, I've had it hooked up through Wi-Fi for a while, so I did try it with Wi-Fi connection, and it was god-awful. So I plugged it in, and it worked pretty good. So I had this Netgear router here. This is the C7000 V2, and it worked okay. At the time, my internet was not super fast. So for those of you that are familiar with Comcast, I had the 400 megabits per second speed, and it was all right. But my problem was my upload speeds were not that fast. So I was limited to 10 megabits per second upload. The problem with that is that the Portal requires a minimum of 5 megabits per second upload, and they recommend 15. So when I was getting only 10 max, that was kind of sketchy because it would drop down every now and then and it would be super noticeable. So I would have some times where I could play just fine. Other times it would be super slow and choppy and disconnect. So what I did was I went and upgraded my internet speed. I upgraded to the 1 gigabit plan. I got my 20 megabits per second upload, and it still wasn't working. So after talking to a number of people, I had Comcast on the phone, I had a technician come out, I went to Best Buy. I decided that nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. I did some more research. I would talk to some more people. Apparently, the issue was that this router is DOCSIS 3.0. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm not like a super techie guy, but from what I understand is that doesn't support gigabit internet speeds. And this is all important to know because if you want to get this thing, you should know what is going to come with that. I mean, you can't just use it with any old router. So look for DOCSIS 3.1. And I ended up going with this bad boy here, the Nighthawk. It's like the newer model of what I had there. It's a combination modem router, and it can do gigabit internet speeds, and I got that, brought it home, and it works just fine. That's $300, roughly, okay? So if you're going to get the Portal and you don't have an internet plan that provides you with at least 15 megabits per second upload, you may not want to look into this because you're going to have to upgrade your internet, you're going to have to upgrade your router, and buy the device. Now, with that being said, once you have it all set up, I actually think it's awesome. I mean, being able to play in the living room was the main reason I wanted this because I got a family. So if Ashley's watching the TV or Brooklyn's watching the TV, I can't really be in there with them. You know, I wanted to be able to play my games while being with the family. So this is kind of huge for me because I can be sitting there playing my game, they can watch their show, and I can be present and in the room. And this kind of ties in with like one of the big negatives for this device because this doesn't have Bluetooth support. It has PlayStation Link support. So if you want to go buy like the Pulse earbuds or the headset that PlayStation sells, it'll connect to this. But if you have like Bluetooth headphones or earbuds, they're not going to connect. Now, you may think that's like a big issue, but this is like a home streaming device. So when you're home and using this, at least in my case, it doesn't make sense to be isolating with the headphones. Why would you want to be in the same room as somebody else with your headphones on, isolating yourself while being present? For me, I just don't really understand that. Why do you want to be in the same room as somebody else while totally isolating yourself? Just go play in a different room. And it's not like you can take this thing on the train and play with headphones on anyways. I guess unless you're connected to your phone and you're tethering, but I don't really see that being strong enough in most cases, so that's got to be pretty rare. Also, some other issues are this doesn't have an internet browser, so if you go to like a hotel and they have to have that little click to access internet, it's not going to work. And sometimes it has trouble waking up the console from sleep. So this really is like a home streaming device, at least until they can fix those issues. But actually using the device, it works flawlessly. If you have everything you need at home to make this thing run, it works great, and I definitely recommend it. I played through all of the God of War Valhalla DLC. I'm playing through BioShock now, and it's great. I'm not noticing latency, drop frames. It doesn't feel laggy. The textures look great on this little screen. Totally recommend it. If you have an extra 20 bucks too, what I would say is go on Amazon. They have this little stand here because the battery isn't super long. So the way I have it set up is it's right next to where I normally play, and I can play. When I'm done, I set it right back on the charging cradle, and the next time I come back, it's charged and ready to go. And I will say this, if you don't charge it after every use, it will die on you, and it has no kind of warning or no indication, so it will just die right in the middle of your game. So that's kind of annoying. And one other gripe I have with this thing is for a device that depends on internet speed, why can you not do a speed test on the device? You can connect it to your internet, you can do a speed test on your PS5, but you can't do a speed test off this device. So you can't have any kind of metering on the device, especially when it's recommended that your PS5 is hardwired, so you're not going to get a good Wi-Fi test with the device. It's so frustrating. Why would they not put that in here? And you can't even run a test while connected to the portal. You have to disconnect from the portal and then go to your PS5 and run a internet test. So if you're trying to troubleshoot this stuff, it's kind of annoying. You have to rely on a bunch of different things, and that part is a little frustrating. It works really good if you have all the right stuff. So I don't know, check it out if you're interested. I do recommend it. It works well. Let me know down in the comments section below if you're going to buy a portal. Until next time, I'll see you later. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/GrouchyGus94 to help support the channel.